Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. And I am William Hyman, your host. And this is Just Force 911, where we look at how our public officials do their job, or they don't know the law and they completely and totally screw it up. This is coming to us, guys, excuse me, from U.S. Good Cops. Please go over, tell them I sent you. Please subscribe to them. Hit their thumbs up or thumbs down, whichever you prefer. If you would, while you're here, also take and subscribe to my channel, please. I'm trying to get to 1,200. I'm at 1153 now. If you guys can help me out, I appreciate it very, very much, and I thank you much. Hit the bell icon so you know when I put out a new video. Thumbs up, thumbs down says how I do for you. Leave me a comment. Hit my like and share because it helps my algorithms. Okay, with that being said, you're going to hear some information from cops that are completely wrong. And the gentleman here at U.S. Good Cops is going to set them straight. So check this out, guys, and let me know what you think, okay? Here we go.
You're on private property right now.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
Do you have permission to be here?
Did the owner trespass me?
Well, this guy...
He doesn't want you here.
This guy actually did call and tell us he wanted you to leave.
In late December of 2016, a noteworthy incident took place in New Brownfields, Texas. Philip Turner, a YouTuber known for testing First Amendment boundaries, was recording a traffic stop near Interstate 35 when Deputy Cameron Shelley from the Como County Sheriff's Office made contact with him. What followed would highlight critical aspects of the public's right to record law enforcement and the boundaries of privacy.
Hey, go back over here for me, all right?
What's that?
Can you go stand back over where you work for me, sir?
There's something wrong with being here?
Yes, sir, there is. I don't want you to be in direct line with that vehicle. I'd like for you to go back to where you were standing. You can continue filming all you'd like, but I don't want you right here.
Am I interfering?
Well, technically, now you're starting to pose into somebody else's private property with your videoing. Yes, sir. Hey, did they give you permission to film inside their truck?
I don't need permission out in public.
In public?
I don't need permission.
In somebody's vehicle?
I don't need permission out in public.
No, not to film us. You're correct. But to film inside somebody's vehicle, that's an extension of their house, and that is a private place. So you do need somebody's permission to film inside their vehicle.
But is that a crime?
During the encounter, one deputy asserted that Mr. Turner was not allowed to film the interior of a vehicle in a public setting without the owner's permission. However, long-established legal precedent indicates otherwise. Landmark Supreme Court decisions, such as the 1976 case of South Dakota versus Opper, affirm that individuals have a diminished expectation of privacy in automobiles due to regulatory requirements and the public nature of roadway travel. In Cardwell v. Lewis, 1974, the court reiterated that a vehicle's primary function is transportation, reducing the degree of personal privacy attached to it. Consequently, filming an automobile plainly visible on a public thoroughfare generally does not violate privacy rights under federal standards.
If they decided it, yes.
Who's they?
The two we got in the back of our cars. If they don't want you filming or you didn't get permission from them, you can't be filming inside their cars.
Well, you guys got the door open.
Look, all I'm asking...
Has anybody ever heard of the plain view doctrine, just out of curiosity?
All you do is go stand back over where you were.
Even if I was back there, I could still see inside the
car.
car.
So go stand back over there. It's simple as that. Because right now that I'm having to come over here and ask you to move again, now you're interfering with our investigation. Because instead of me being able to focus over here, I got to focus on you. So if you could just go stand over there, I can call a supervisor if you'd like.
Or you can go back over there and do your job like you're supposed to, you clown. You're a public servant.
Speak to a supervisor.
Yeah, go ahead and call a supervisor.
You can make any complaints you like, but all I'm asking you to do is go stand back over there where you were.
Just go ahead and call a supervisor.
Okay. Do me a favor and go stand back over there for me, all right, buddy?
I don't see what's wrong being here.
I'm asking you to go stand back where you were. There was not an issue where you're standing.
Now, if you know, this, what he's saying is, I'm asking you. I'm not ordering you. I'm asking you. He can ask whatever he wants. He can ask for a milkshake. He can ask for a cheeseburger. Looks like he's had plenty of them. But that doesn't mean you have to follow his request. He's asking, not ordering.
Where you were standing, now there's an issue where you're at.
Because I'm filming inside the truck, right?
Yes, sir. You can film us all you want. We don't care. We want you to do it from a safe distance. So if you could go back to where you were, that'd be greatly appreciated.
All right. If the issue is with me filming here inside the truck, I won't film inside the truck.
If you you go stand back where you were, please. Go and contact your sergeant. There's not an issue with you filming us. There's an issue with you getting any closer to the scene.
I'm not getting any closer than here.
Okay. Do not move from here. All right. Any closer from here, we're gonna have any more issues. Okay.
I already told you I'm not moving from here, and,
okay.
and that's it.
Thank you. I encourage you to film. Thank you. So the sergeant's here. He said he'd be over here talking to you in just a little bit. Okay.
What's up?
Our sergeant.
Okay.
He said he's gonna be over here talking to you in just a little bit. He's here. He's actually.
All right. You got a business card or anything?
A business card?
Yeah.
Not on me. I can get you one out of my car in a little bit.
All right. Cool.
All right. Hang tight for me. Do you have your information? Your driver's license?
What's that?
Do you have your driver's license or name, date of birth?
For what?
Because now you're a witness to this crime that we're doing.
What crime is that?
The crime that we got these people in the back of these cars for.
I don't know what crime they committed.
You don't have to know.
Well, how do I know what they did, though? I don't know what they did.
Okay, they broke the law. They're in possession of narcotics. That's why they're in the back of our cars.
Okay, now you're telling me that, okay?
Yeah. So, do you have your name and date of birth?
No.
Or a driver's license?
No.
So you're going to refuse to be listed as a witness since you sat here and videotaped the entire scene?
If you need a copy of the video, I can give you a copy of the video.
Well, yeah, but we're also going to need to identify you in our report that you were here videoing, so when we come to get a copy of that video, we can get that.
All right, let me talk to your supervisor.
He said that he won't want to give us his name or date of birth until he talks to our supervisor. So.
And you're probably going to end up going to jail because right now you're witnessing a crime.
Well, I asked to talk to a supervisor. He's here, so why?
Why do cops make stupid, retarded comments like this? I don't get it. Well, they're sovereign citizens, they're above the law, and they think they don't have to follow the law. That's why.
Can I speak with them?
As the situation unfolded, the deputies asked Mr. Turner to provide identification, citing him as a witness to a crime. Under Section 38.02 of the Texas Penal Code, a person commits the offense of failure to identify if they intentionally provide false information after an officer has good cause to believe the individual is a witness. Simply refusing to give information does not, in itself, amount to a violation of this statute. It is worth noting that some jurisdictions approach witness identification differently. For instance, Section 2921.29 of the Ohio Revised Code makes it a misdemeanor for a person in a public space to refuse to disclose certain basic information when the officer reasonably suspects they witnessed particular felonies. Still, constitutional protections generally shield individuals from forced cooperation in investigations unless legally compelled through measures like a subpoena. Federal law even allows the arrest of material witnesses, a category for those possessing information indispensable to resolving a criminal case. According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, 5,594 material witnesses were arrested in 2016, about 3.7% of all federal arrests that year. In Mr. Turner's circumstances, being deemed a material witness seems highly unlikely, but the law does grant authorities some leeway if they believe a person holds essential evidence.
Because you're refusing to give your information, you'll be going to jail for failure to identify as you're a witness to a crime.
So I need to give you my ID to speak to your supervisor? Is that what you're telling me?
No.
Okay, I need to speak to your supervisor.
Why do you need to speak to the supervisor?
Because I requested to speak to
warrants
him.
that?
Because I requested to speak to him and he's here.
Okay. So what's your point?
He's here, I need to speak with him.
You've got no part of the scene, right? But you want to speak to our supervisor.
You can speak to him.
Okay.
Yeah, but you'll be in handcuffs and it'll be at the jail. Is that what you want to do?
I need to speak to your supervisor.
Is that what you want to do?
I need to speak to your supervisor.
Why aren't you understanding? You put yourself in this situation right here. You see that? You're on private property
Private
right now.
or public?
You're on private property right now.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
Do you have permission to be here?
Did the owner trespass me?
Well, this guy...
He doesn't want you here.
This guy actually did come over and tell us he wanted you to leave.
Eventually, the deputies informed Mr. Turner he was on private property near a fenced area surrounding a Camping World RV sales lot, and that the owner wanted him to leave. While the First Amendment safeguards the right to record law enforcement activity in public, it doesn't obligate private entities to permit such activity on their premises. The Supreme Court has consistently held that purely private conduct is not subject to First Amendment scrutiny. In Texas, criminal trespass under Section 30.05 of the Texas Penal Code occurs only if a person remains on property without consent after receiving clear notice to leave. Mr. Turner stood outside the fence, saw no signage forbidding entry, and only received oral notice once the deputies spoke to him. In these circumstances, there is minimal legal ground for a trespassing charge, as he had not been unequivocally informed he was unwelcome until that moment.
But this officer here was telling me that I had to move back over there, I couldn't stand over there, and I was asking him why. He told me that I wasn't allowed to film inside the vehicle here. But
I mean, that's their privacy too. We got to get their consent to go in, so it makes it any different for you.
well, that's to go in.
Yeah.
But I'm not going in. I'm just observing.
During the early stages of conversation, the on-scene sergeant appeared to support his deputy's interpretations. However, intermittent phone calls interrupted their dialogue, and attempts to clarify Mr. Turner's intentions were repeatedly cut short. Meanwhile, officers continued urging Mr. Turner to identify himself, but the exchanges remained tense until the sergeant was able to devote his full attention to the matter.
Argument. You're not doing anything wrong, and but here's the deal. They got a point there. I mean, your worst case scenario is that your camera would be a part of evidence, but we're not going to go there because I have a camera. I have plenty of cameras going, so I don't need your camera. Now, if something were to happen to where, man, we get into a shooting or something or a fight and somebody gets hurt, then you know what? I'm taking your camera because that's so you got to be careful with that in the future. Okay, when you're doing this,
But on that one, I'll tell you, there was a shooting on 6th Street that happened not too long ago, and I helped aided them catching the shooter.
and I have no problem with that.
Once the sergeant heard Mr. Turner's perspective, he recognized that the act of recording a traffic stop did not pose a legitimate threat. Although Mr. Turner chose not to divulge his identity, the sergeant permitted him to leave freely, and they exchanged business cards voluntarily. A few days later, Mr. Turner visited the Como County Sheriff's Office to submit a formal complaint and request public records, an interaction characterized by a somewhat discourteous clerk at the front desk, but otherwise cooperative officers. It remains uncertain if Mr. Turner ultimately pursued legal action against the deputies or the department. What is clear is that filing the complaint served as a formal means to document the encounter and potentially inspire changes in policy or training. Throughout this situation, the contrast between initial misunderstandings of legal boundaries and the subsequent resolution underscores the importance of clear communication. Officers and citizens alike benefit from recognizing constitutional rights, local ordinances, and the nuances of interactions in public spaces. In this case, the complaint process provided a channel for voicing concerns while preserving the potential for accountability and constructive improvement. Thank you for taking the time to explore these important considerations in law enforcement encounters. Remember to like and share this video. Your support makes it possible for us good cops to continue delivering insightful content and fostering better interactions between police and the public.
Okay, guys, so you got to see a lot of misinformation from officers. Once the sergeant got there and actually got his attention, able to be focused, the officers were sent away. Thank you once again to U.S. Good Cops. Appreciate the video, and like he says, share it and with your friends, so that the word gets out and spreads. You know, these are public servants. They serve the public, and they have forgotten that, and it's about time they learn it again. So everybody have a good one, have a safe one, and I'll talk to you again later. Thank you, and God bless.